JD Vance, this is happening, I guess, started an hour ago or something like that, addressed the IAFF, which I'm not sure what the acronym is, but it's the Firefighters Union Convention, right?
International Association of Firefighters.
So he's bombing, is what we're seeing. This is him trying to make a joke. Let's see how this goes.
Ooh. Republican and Democrat conventions we just had. It says a lot who each party chose to put up on that stage. At the Republican convention, we were featuring everyday American workers, and of course, we had Hulk Hogan. And while it's tempting, and I'm sure it would make some big headlines, don't worry, everybody, I'm not going to try to take off my shirt here. Republican and...
Don't worry,
We had a lot of everyday workers and Hulk Hogan. Like I guess we said, like Hulk Hogan, famous scab.
Yeah.
You know, famous, like exactly the type of, I mean, the type of thing that should be shunned and treated as, in certain contexts, emasculate, in my opinion, is selling out everyone you work for, so you can, have more, I don't know, steroids or something.
And specifically selling out Jesse the Body Ventura.
I mean, who could do that?
He was trying to organize the union,
called out by him. And so he really flubbed that. He also seemingly was booed when he was speaking. And look, in the rivalry between firefighters and cops, you know which side we're on. We're on the firefighter side here. Our true heroes of public service. And also doing another public service here, booing J.D. Vance in Boston.
Trump and I are proud to be the most pro-worker Republican ticket in history, and I want to talk about why we're fighting for working people, why we're going to fight for unions and non-union alike. Now, our enemies and a lot of Democrats call us populists, like it's something of an insult.
No, we can end it there. God bless every one of those firefighters groaning in the background, because what they're not saying that Republicans shouldn't be pro-worker. What they're saying is we don't believe what you're saying right now, and I think that shouldn't be missed by some of the way that's being spread around.
Right. Let's contrast this with how Tim Walz was received.
As Frank can attest, Kamala Harris sued the big banks for mismanaging your state's pension fund. And when she won, she returned hundreds of millions of dollars to firefighters and other public workers and to their families. As vice president, she cast the deciding vote on the American Rescue Plan, which helped keep workers on the job. And I'll say this,
polite smattering.
It kept the public safe during the pandemic, and it let local fire departments hire, train, and retain more of the firefighters that we needed. And under her leadership, the administration gave much-needed raises to more than 11,000 federal firefighters.
All right, so a little more substance there, but
less angst and...
Did you hear a ton of boos?
Not a ton of boos. I just, at the RNC, just back to that original point, like, what regular people did you have up there? I mean... I
was trying to think of a worker.
They had Sean O'Brien, who spoke, right?
Right, I mean, the leader of workers.
But Sean Fain spoke of the UAW.
Dana White introduced Trump. What a better guy than the famous head of the UFC, who is extremely anti-union and has that organization where you basically slap the other guy in the face,
hey, Lord.
Brain damage.
Don't insult power slap to Brandon here.
He didn't invent slap fighting, but yes, he has. He
put it on the map though.
He's sullied the name of slap fighting. You can't even enjoy a good slap fight now without being associated with Dana White. I will say episode 6 of Slap House is out tonight, which I will be watching when this is over. But we all have our problematic. Yeah, it's like a UFC.
Is that the UFC like fight version, like the Fighter House version of that?
Yeah. It's like the Ultimate Fighter, but for slappers.
Oh, so do they all the slappers live together in a house?
They do, and they fight all the time. They get into fist fights all the time. I have never seen a reality show where there are more physical altercations, and it's because it's like a fighting show, ostensibly a fighting show.
Yeah, it's
but
called
the house
Slap
is
House.
full of alcohol. It's full of like they're sponsored by something called like Monkey's Fist, like banana bourbon, and like some sort of like Happy Dad seltzer, and then like apparently Monster Energy drink has like a Four Loko thing now, so they get lit and then they just slap each other unconscious. It's real messed up. But I'm addicted.
Should we end early so you can get to watch that?
No,
really
it's not live.
All right.
It's not live.
All right, back to the substance of this.
I will say, I think it's just a lack of charisma on JD Vance's side. I think that he looks visibly uncomfortable on stage. He looks like he doesn't really know how to engage with people one-on-one, which being on stage is kind of just like a larger scale version of that. And so that kind of just, I don't know, lack of charisma comes through very clearly for him. And Tim Walz just has charisma, like more charisma than everyone in this race has more charisma than JD Vance. He's really the odd man out here.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say Kamala Harris has a lot of charisma. Like I would, her strengths are more. I think, she's shown that she's good at strategy, right? And probably is more like thoughtful or like looks that she's not a good stump speaker to that same degree, right? Like Walz is better in that way.
Well, Mike Pence wasn't Mr. Charisma himself, but he clearly was like,
good point.
He played a character. He played the role. His personality was the quiet, reserved, religious man. JD Vance is coming off as a guy who doesn't know who he is. Like he doesn't know where he fits. He's trying to be something that he's not because he doesn't even know who he is.
That's so true. Like JD Vance doesn't really have a coherent role in this. Like maybe Kamala Harris doesn't have the most effervescent personality, but it's clear who she excites. A, everybody who was upset about Joe Biden being in the race, and B, she has a contingent, Black women who are a core of the Democratic Party, liberals who are excited about a person of color and a woman being president. JD Vance, people in Appalachia don't even like him.
Right. Well, because he's also a traitor. I mean, he's basically a bag man. Like that's the problem is that they apparently, Don Jr. and Eric were across this. And I feel like they treated it like, yeah, we nailed the best business deal. The guy who's going to bring us the Peter Thiel cash for all your lawyers' fees, daddy.
And we're on the same forums.
And it's just, he doesn't have any skills. Like you say, he's not a good speaker. He's also horrible in these one-on-one interactions. We were laughing our asses off playing him trying to interact with those workers at the donut shop. I mean, he has no political skills except being a mercenary for Peter Thiel.
I bet he writes like one hell of a Reddit comment though. Like if you're on the far right subreddits and you say something that's wrong about the shape of like a Caucasoid skull, I bet he comes in with the quickness to correct you in a way that leaves you totally feeling owned. But for the average American voter, I don't think he really connects with them in the way that you would need to have him out there. So, front and center. I don't know why he's giving these speeches.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.